What is happening, everybody? Or as apparently Kelly always says, I like to say, what's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great week so far. As you guys can see, we have not done any shows this week. Essentially, had the week off. And as you guys know, we're all sending prayers out to Suni. Suni has been in the hospital. She's been updating with pictures once in a while. So tonight, when I get back home, hopefully if it's going to be late, but I might do a blunt force logic. So many things to talk about, including, of course, the issues with the injection. And I've just been looking at the way that we're guilting each other and other Americans into force feeding this shot to each other, and how absolutely absurd it is, and separating ourselves as Americans based on whether or not you've got a untested, unproven injection that they're calling a vaccine. Holy nuts. It's a quick preview for later. I think it's mind-boggling that they're touting the results of the 12 to 17-year-old age group and whatever, the Moderna or the whatever one it is, and how great it is. You know what else is great? The 12 to 17-year-old group has a 19.99999% survival rate. Why are you giving the... I also met a bunch of people this week that actually had the vaccine, some because they felt as though they were the injection. And like 3 or 4 out of the 8 had gotten sick. Somebody canceled an appointment because they were deathly ill, worst sickness they ever had, and it wasn't from COVID. It was from the injection. Super weird. And if anybody didn't see what I put in the box, fun fact: I got interviewed by the FBI today. So if anybody's wondering, they are still out on the prowl looking for information on January 6th. I do want to say they were incredibly respectful guys. They were awesome. They came, and they really, at this point, they want to find out who did the really bad stuff. And obviously, with Kelly and I not being in the building, not knowing anything exactly to that extent, we couldn't help out that much. But it is interesting to me, and I brought it up. I'm like, how are we talking about something 4.5 months ago that did very, very little damage, that literally for the most part was, again, 99.99999% peaceful, yet people in all these different cities and getting, burning down buildings and getting let out by nonprofits, yeah. Anyways, they're getting let out, and they're getting their bonds paid for. Yet at the same time, like these people, these Capitol protesters, like Cash. Again, Cash had a different thing against him. That's why he's still in. That's his previous sentencing. But all these different people that literally just went in the building are getting punished 10 times more than those that, and they're doing way more investigation than the people that were threatening SWAT agents and FBI agents. And it's just mind-boggling. Here we are 4 months later, still having a discussion, and it's because people turned us in. I mean, we knew that there was groups that were doxing and turning in and showing pictures of, who I was, who Kelly's salon was, and all these different things. You guys probably remember the videos right after. But it's absolutely insane this is an event that caused what they're saying $2.5 million worth of damage, which I don't know how a mirror hall much, but cool. And we've just completely ignored the social justice riots over the last summer that have continued. And now we're going to be prepping for more. Look at what happened with the Floyd trial now, with Chauvin's defense showing that somebody was a huge Black Lives Matter supporter that was on the jury. You've got the words from Biden, and you've got the words from Maxine Waters that essentially forced the jury's hand. And if that doesn't end up changing it to a mistrial or whatever, which is setting us up for another round of civil unrest, and it's terrible. So anyways, I'm giving you guys why I had Kelly's family's her sister had a graduation this last weekend. She also got engaged. She said yes. Amazing. And that's why we took the show off. So I was RVing with the dogs and the pups, and took some time off, and it just happened to coincide with Suni not feeling well. So please make sure Haruso, I don't know what that Sharon, what you meant by that. Yeah, they did finally talk to us. Yeah, it took them long enough. But again, I'm glad it happened when it did, how it did. We were able to have a good conversation about it. Yeah, there's also, I just saw something pass through my screen, but there's an admission by the White House that they are trying to limit the amount of questions that Biden can answer. This is real life, guys. This is real life. While I'm stuck in traffic, if there's any questions, I'll stay on here for a couple more minutes. I'll be able to answer them. I'll look for them. Oh, Casey, you got interviewed at your co-host. That's totally fine. Yeah, I was debating whether or not to have a lawyer present. They did ask a lot of questions, a few questions about Cash, and I gave how I knew him and how, the previous Cash, who, used to be a Latin king, he became this other person that was powerful to create change, and they didn't disagree with me. But, they were asking about affiliations, obviously, and I get that. They want to know who knew what and who knew how, and I'm like, I don't know. I do be the change. And there was a question like, could be the change be deemed, could it have incited, violence on the 6th? I was like, well, the one post I said was, you should be there. If you're questioning it, be there. Besides that, absolutely not. So it's just funny. You got booted from the live, Rob? Do I trust the FBI? No, I don't. Across the board, I do not trust the FBI. The FBI, I trust human beings, but the FBI is also the one that somehow says that white supremacy is the number one threat to our country, which I don't understand. So no, I do not trust the FBI, but I do trust human beings, and there's nothing for me to not trust these guys, because I was able to tell everything that I did, because there was nothing wrong. So, but just having a conversation was kind of refreshing, and it's nice to know that we think it's a little crazy what's going on, and it's it's crazy that this is still part of it. Yeah, Amy, I see that Biden letting liberals mess with the audit. I've been reading about that too. Super weird. Also, there's the side. This is what's going to get me taken off. The side effects for the shot, we'll call it, keep stacking up and keep getting ignored. And there's other professionals and pulmonary specialists and doctors and nurses that are starting to try to say stuff about it, and they can't. So cool. All right. Let's see what else we got here. If anybody wants an RV park, there's a really nice one we stayed at outside of Memphis called Tom Sawyer. It was really cool. Sharon, I couldn't disagree with you. Suni, from what I understand, is feeling better. I haven't talked to her much. Again, I've been driving. I drove the RV yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to really hear much. I was having a great day till I heard Joe. I think it's crazy how same family members have no ties. They just, you know what's else funny? So I'm in a bar. I don't know what vibe I put off, but apparently I put off a Republican conservative vibe, because this guy comes up to me who was like half black, half white, whatever, sits down. I had a bunch of Kelly's sister's friends, like, and Kelly was a bunch of girls. So clearly that was why he initially came over, but there was nobody wearing masks. And he said something like, maybe I said something. I was like, nobody's wearing a mask. He's like, yeah, nobody's wearing a mask. I love it. And then all of a sudden he said, I don't know where you stand politically, but I got to say something. I'm pretty far right. And it's like almost like he had a buffer on, like, oh, this guy's not going to like what I have to say. And I'm like, that's ironic. You sat next to the right person. It's pretty funny. So, yeah, we had a long talk about politics and stuff, like drunk post-college kid, just, whatever. Yeah, if anybody hadn't seen the movie Children of Men, I feel like that's what we're in right now with this shot. It's just super weird. I feel like all the issues that women are having with their cycle and with all these different things, it's like, this is speaking to a world of infertility. And then I just heard that, unrelated to the code, to the shot, that the birth rates for the first year ever have gone down. And if you don't think there's something to be said about this Bill and Melinda Gates divorce, could it be that Melinda finally was like, my husband is trying to depopulate the world? This would be really weird. Like, I feel like, and I get the whole family, by the way, the articles that I've been reading are taking her side. So maybe she's realizing that Bill Gates is the devil, like we've been saying forever. She went live. Awesome. I didn't see the student went live. I'll have to watch it. I don't know if Suni has said what she had surgery for. And then somebody said, yes, truth will set you free. Sorry, Yolanda, I didn't get to see you. We were in and out. We didn't do much. We went to a dinner. We went to one set of bars on Beale Street. We went to 2 dinners, and it was all family stuff for the most part. We didn't leave much and did work all day. And then bounced. But I know you're outside the Memphis area. Somebody's asking, do they ever question the looters and rioters? No, they don't. They do not. Not that I know of. They just have nonprofits that bail them out. Meanwhile, you've got people in DC right now that are just sitting there who have never committed a crime in their whole entire life, except for being in the building. Not talking about Cash, talking about some of the people I've gotten to meet through Cash. Cash is decent. We talked yesterday. He heard that I had to talk with the FBI, so he called to see if I was right. Elizabeth, I thought the same dang thing. I was like, you know something, like I thought right now would be like when we're all like all the babies should start jacking up, but I don't know, maybe they might be talking about 2020, who knows. Saving their money. I don't know what this comment was. That's for. Oh, so talking about Gates, maybe. I don't know. Yep, I guess Denise knows. I guess she did talk about it. Let's be for Charlie. Yeah, hey, somebody else is talking, and Liberal Jay, who we always have on the show, we're going back and forth about the fact that I think it's insane that we are allowing that Chicago is making it like, oh, this city event, if you have a vaccine, you're allowed to go. If not, you're not allowed to go. It's like, okay, this is not American. But anyways, he was talking about what if like one of them gets FDA approval, and it's like when is the I mean, just because it's the Food and Drug Administration, it's an American institution. These are the same people that allow us to put aspartame into our bodies. These are the same people that they're a money game. It's obvious. It's always been that way. The fact that Monsanto is still a business shows that it's got nothing to do with what's healthy or good for us as human beings. It's got to do with who pays the most money to make sure the shit still gets pumped into us. And at the end of the day, they want sick people. We all say this. The sicker the people, the more money you can make off of medicine. Duh. Boom. Okay. That's it. Let's see. Hi, Madeline. What's going on? Yeah, we do need cash back. Are you talking about me? I do a lot of research about science. And let me tell you, trust me, Cash and I talked a lot about these quote unquote conspiracy theories. I don't know what I've spread that's a conspiracy theory. That's just how it is. So if you believe that Big Pharma has your intentions, for you, that it's in your best interest. Let me make sure I'm going the right way, by the way. So if you think Big Pharma has their best interests, let's just remind you guys that you are literally taking the word of companies that pay for their own research. So they make money based off the product they sell. And this is the only industry that's regulated like this, where your research comes from people that are paid by the people that need you to do the research. Just throwing that out there. And I love that being called out for conspiracy theories. It's hilarious. I'm sorry, Chris. Shit. I remember your name a few times too. Thinking about you, I'm really sorry about your wife, man. Sending you prayers, love. Awesome, Michael. Glad you got to see Cash's baby girl. Look, it's all agenda based in Big Pharma. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is an opinion rooted in direct observations. Hydroxychloroquine is a perfect example of that. Oh, Facebook didn't like what I said. Wow, that was weird. That is funny, right when I said the H word. I'm back. So anyways, what they did was they made sure to have all these things that were showing false issues and side effects, and they came out and then offered the apology months later. And then 3 days after Biden was in office, not the CDC, but the American Journal of Science, I believe, came out and actually said that it's a good off-label prescription for COVID. Whoa, shocker. So yeah, you can't really listen. I want to know, who's the person again that said that they want cash back and want to stop with the conspiracy theories? You and I need to have a chat. Sorry that I'm freezing. Maybe I'm in traffic. Anyways, guys, that's it. I've got a new setup at home later. I was just wanting to hang out on my way to bowling. It's been way too long since I talked to everybody. It's the longest I've gone without doing a live. Yeah, no kidding, right? That was super interesting. And by the way, the whole time I had 5 bars on my phone. Interesting. That was fast to Facebook. That's hilarious. All right, guys, be the change you wish to see in the world. Hopefully I'll be able to do a late one tonight. If not, I will do What Made You Smile today, tomorrow, as well as some other stuff. I got the whole new setup. Excited to do that. Excited to see y'all again. And Chris, again, sending you a lot of love, brother. I'm very sorry for your loss. Take it easy, y'all.